I was lying on the bathroom floor, dizzy from an ulcer, clutching my side. My wife stepped over me, rolled her eyes, and said, "If you're going to die, do it quietly. The neighbors already think you're pathetic." I tried to get up. She flushed the toilet, walked out, and slammed the door. I drove myself to the ER. 2 months later, she regretted everything she said. Throwaway, for obvious reasons. Long-time lurker, first-time poster. Never thought I'd be one of those guys sharing their marriage drama on Reddit. But here we are. Me, 31M, and Stephanie, 29F, have been married for almost 6 years. Things weren't always bad. Actually, the first 4 years were pretty decent. We had our fights like any couple, but nothing major. Looking back now, I can see how things started sliding downhill about 2 years ago. Little comments here and there, eye rolls when I spoke, interrupted me constantly. The classic jokes that weren't really jokes. I kept telling myself it was just a phase. We were both stressed with life stuff. The economy's been garbage. Our apartment building change management, and the new guys are total slumlords. The basement started getting this black mold issue after a pipe burst in a unit next door, and the management company kept forgetting to send someone to fix it properly. So yesterday, Stephanie says the basement smell is getting worse and asked me to go clean the mold again. 3rd time this month, by the way. No big deal, right? Just normal husband stuff. I grab my mask and gloves from the closet since that black stuff is nasty. Head down there with bleach and brushes and get to work. The basement in our building is like something out of a horror movie. Bad lighting, weird sounds from the pipes, always slightly damp. And now, with black mold creeping up the walls like something from sci-fi movie. I'm down there scrubbing for like an hour, sweating through my shirt because it's humid AF, even though it's only like 70 degrees outside. And then my phone dings. Text from Stephanie. "Don't forget to take out the trash when you're done, including yourself." I literally stopped scrubbing and just stared at my phone. Like, was that supposed to be funny? We joke around sometimes, but this felt different. Still, I figured maybe she was just being sarcastic or something. So I finish up, shower, and head upstairs. That's when she said it. I walk into the kitchen where she was scrolling through TikTok on the couch and mentioned her text, thinking we'd laugh it off. She didn't even look up from her phone, just said, "You're not good for anything except getting dirty. You're like a broken tool I haven't thrown away yet." The way she said it, completely flat, no emotion, like she was commenting on the weather or something. That's what got me. It wasn't said in anger. It was just a statement of fact to her. I didn't even know what to say. Like my brain just blue screened. I mumbled something about needing to check if I'd left anything in the basement and went back downstairs. Ended up sitting on the basement steps for almost 2 hours, just thinking, going through our relationship in my head. All the little digs. All the times she made me feel small. All the times I'd brushed it off because that's just how she jokes, or she's just stressed. When I finally went back up, she was already in bed. I grabbed a blanket from the closet and went back to the basement. Petty maybe, but I couldn't bring myself to sleep next to her. Ended up curled up next to the water heater because it was the warmest spot down there. Didn't sleep much. Spent most of the night using my phone, looking through our accounts and messages. That's when I found some interesting stuff. Remember how I said money's been tight? Turns out Stephanie's been hiding money. We have a joint account, but I discovered she'd opened a separate account almost a year ago. Been transferring small amounts. Not enough for me to notice when I glanced at her statements, but enough to add up to almost $7,000 over time. There were also messages with her friend Lindsay about how she was so done with me and just waiting for the right time to have the talk. Messages from 3 months ago. By 5 a.m., I made my decision. I packed a bag while she was still sleeping, took screenshots of everything I found, transferred my latest paycheck out of her joint account, left enough for rent and bills, and walked out. Called my buddy Tristan, who agreed to let me crash at his place for a bit. Didn't tell anyone else where I was going. Turned off location, sharing on my phone. Just disappeared. Stephanie woke up around 7:30 based on when the text started flooding in. 7:34 a.m. Where are you? 7:46 a.m. Knox. Hello. 8:12 a.m. This isn't funny. Where did you go? 8:34 a.m. Are you seriously this childish? Sleeping in the basement wasn't enough drama for you. 9:15 a.m. Your boss called, said you called in sick. Where the hell are you? 10:23 a.m. Please just tell me you're okay. 11:47 a.m. I'm sorry about what I said. I was just stressed. Please come home. I ignore all of them. Let her stew in it. By afternoon, she was calling my friends. Most of them played dumb because they're good brothers. She even called my mom, who thankfully respected my wishes when I told her not to tell Stephanie anything except that I was safe. It's been 24 hours now. I've talked to a lawyer virtually and started making plans. The way I see it, she's been plotting her exit strategy for months, squirreling away cash, emotionally checking out, treating me like garbage. Well, if I'm trash, then I'm taking myself out and taking everything else with me. I've documented the separate account, the messages, the pattern of emotional abuse. The lawyer says I've got a solid case for a favorable divorce settlement in our state. And just about an hour ago, she showed up at Tristan's door. Don't know how she found me. Probably through process of elimination since I wasn't answering my phone. She was crying, makeup all streaked down her face, begging me to come out and talk. I watched through the peephole as Tristan told her I wasn't there. The look on her face, part of me felt a twinge of something. Pity? Regret? But then I remembered sitting in that moldy basement, scrubbing walls while she texted me to take myself out with the trash. Funny how she only started caring when I actually took her advice. This is just the beginning. The real garbage removal starts now. Update. It's been 2 weeks since my last post. 2 weeks of radio silence from my end towards Stephanie, not you guys. 2 weeks of her slowly realizing that maybe, just maybe, calling your husband trash and a broken tool has actual consequences. First things first, I moved out of Tristan's place after 3 days. Not because he wasn't a good host. Dude literally gave me his bedroom while he slept on the couch. But because Stephanie kept showing up. At first, it was just her. Then she started bringing reinforcements. Her sister, her best friend Lindsay, even tried sending her mom once, which was peak awkward considering her mom has always low-key hated me. So, I bounced to an Airbnb, paid cash, used a friend's account, complete ghost mode. Told only 2 people where I was staying. Tristan and my brother Albert. Albert actually came through clutch during all this. More on that later. Day after my last post, I met with a divorce attorney through a video call. Showed him the screenshots, the bank statements, the texts. He didn't even blink, just nodded and said he's seen worse, but I definitely had enough for a solid case. His exact word was something like, emotional abuse leaves fingerprints just like physical abuse. They're just harder for some people to see. That hit me while Stephanie was blowing on my phone. 78 texts in 1 day. New personal record. I was quietly making moves. Set up mail, forwarding to a P.O. box. Open new bank accounts at a different bank. Change direct deposit for my paychecks. Pull my name off our streaming services. Petty but satisfying. Most importantly, started documenting everything. That last one, man, once I started looking through old texts and emails with fresh eyes, it was like seeing our relationship for the first time. The constant put-downs disguised as jokes. The way she'd tell stories to our friends that made me look incompetent. How she'd accidentally forget to pass along messages or invitations meant for me. There was this text from last Christmas where I spent hours setting up lights outside our apartment. She wanted them. I hate heights. And her only response was, the neighbor's display makes ours look like a dollar store. At the time, I laughed it off. Reading it now made my stomach turn. The financial stuff was even more eye-opening. Our money problems suddenly made sense when I traced where funds were actually going. That separate account I mentioned, turns out it wasn't just for saving. Stephanie had been spending on all kinds of stuff she told me we couldn't afford. Expensive lunches, clothes, weekend trips with Lindsay that she told me were work conferences. Day 5 of ghost mode. I finally responded to one text. All I said was, all communication through my attorney from now on. With his contact, then blocked her on everything except email, which I muted but kept open as a documentation channel. That's when things went nuclear. She showed up at my workplace twice. Security had to escort her out the second time. Then she tried triangulating through friends. Suddenly, everyone was getting messages about how worried she was about my mental health and erratic behavior. Classic Darvo move. Deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. The wildest part? It kind of worked on some people. Our mutual friend, Brody, actually called to ask if I was having a breakdown. That conversation was revealing. Me. So, she didn't mention calling me trash while I was cleaning toxic mold from our basement? Brody, I know. She said you guys had a small argument, and you just snapped. Me. Did she tell you about hiding $7,000 in a secret account? Brody, what? No. She said you guys were saving for a house. This pattern repeated with several friends. Each time, I just calmly shared my side without embellishment. No ranting, no character assassination, just facts. Screenshots when necessary. The shift in their responses was immediate, from concern about me to shocked about her. By the end of week 1, the tide was turning. Stephanie's social media went from concerned wife looking for missing husband to angry rants about men who can't communicate, to tearful pleas for reconciliation. The comment section on her posts went from supportive to conspicuously quiet as people figured out what was really going on. Meanwhile, I was rebuilding, found a month-to-month apartment. Nothing fancy, just a studio with decent internet. Bought the essentials from a secondhand store. Albert helped me move the few things I'd managed to grab from our place when Stephanie was at work. It's sparse, but it's mine, and it doesn't have black mold. The financial squeeze started hitting her around day 10. See, I've been paying about 70% of our expenses because she always claimed her job didn't pay enough. Another lie. Turns out she makes almost as much as I do. Suddenly, all those subscription services were due. The credit card bills arrived. Rent was coming up. Her emails went from angry to panicked. Day 10. You can't just abandon our financial obligations. This is childish. Day 12. The landlord called about rent. What am I supposed to tell him? Day 13. Please just talk to me. I can't cover everything by myself. My attorney advised me on exactly what I was legally obligated to pay, which was shockingly little, given that we don't have kids or own property together. I set up automatic payments for exactly that amount and not a penny more. Throughout all this, I kept reminding myself of that moment in the basement. That feeling of being utterly disposable, a broken tool, trash. It kept me from wavering when doubt crept in. The most surreal moment came last weekend. Our friend Jennifer was having a housewarming. Small gathering, maybe 15 people. I decided to go, figuring Stephanie wouldn't show given everything happening. Wrong. I was chatting with Jennifer's boyfriend when Stephanie walked in.